On the next Probably True Solar Stories, a street psychic predicts a sunny future for a struggling solar installer and the entire California solar industry. But when the installer doesn't believe her, she makes a bet that could cost him a free solar installation. Welcome back to Season 3 of Probably True Solar Stories. We're continuing our theme of the energy deep state, albeit in a mostly fictional comedic format. You might think that California is free from the dark energy forces affecting U.S. clean energy today, but the state has a shadow called the California Public Utilities Commission, or the CPUC for short. In real life in 2023 and 2024, the CPUC's misguided recent decisions have caused thousands of California solar workers to lose their jobs. In our fictional story, one of these installers turns to a colorful fortune teller. After carefully listening to his story, the fortune teller assures him that his solar future is bright. But is her vision real? Are the spirits truly predicting a bright future for him and the entire solar industry? Let's find out. The Psychic, the Solar Installer, and the CPUC is written and read by Tor Solarfred Valenza. Once upon a time, there was a good-hearted Sacramento solar installer named Nick who felt that the world had turned against him. Like an old country western song, his solar business was failing, his wife was cheating on him, and his cat had gone missing. Just when Nick was feeling his lowest low, a psychic called him to say that she'd found his missing black cat, Sunny. It was odd that Sunny hadn't come back home. It was even stranger that she'd shown up miles away at a storefront fortune teller near the California State House. But when Nick parked his truck in front of the psychic shop, there was Sunny, her black fuzzy coat lazed under a giant neon human hand. Under this glowing palm, a sign promised that for only $10, Madame Serena would reveal the future and give advice on love, career, taxes, and weight loss. Now, Nick wasn't superstitious, but he'd raise Sunny. Whatever it cost, he wanted her back. Nick walked in and found Madame Serena leaning back in an overstuffed armchair and reading the sports pages of the Sacramento Bee. Looking up from her paper, she gave Nick the once-over and pointed to her shop window where Sunny was shedding her black silky fur under the neon palm. Sunny meowed to Nick, asking him where the hell he had been. Nick didn't know what to say, but picked her up and put Sunny on his shoulder. "That is your cat," Madame Serena said confidently. "Yeah, she's mine. How did you find me?" "I felt you two had a connection. Also, she had a microchip. Good for you. You don't need a psychic for that, just a chip scanner. For some reason, I get a lot of stray cats. Are you a stray cat, Nick?" "How'd you know my name?" "Again, no help from the spirits. Your cat's microchip and the internet reveals all. And before you ask, yes, I predict that you will give me a reward, say $50. But since it's Tuesday, an auspicious day, I will kick in a genuine psychic reading. Sit." Dun, la, 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 la. Nick looked at Madame Serena. She was a California psychic with a Romanian accent. Beads, crystals, and big hoop earrings were part of the standard psychic costume. The California part was a glass of red wine in a stemmed Bordeaux glass. Nick was about to decline the reading, but then he saw the top card of her tarot deck. It was the Sun card. It made him think of his failing solar business, and he thought, what the heck? Madame Serena was someone to talk to. It was entertainment. Nick sat and put Sunny on his lap. Madame Serena took the deck of cards and slipped the Sun cards into the middle of the deck and began to shuffle. "Tell me your problems, Nick, who has lost and found his cat." "Why? What can you do about it?" "I found your cat, didn't I? Perhaps I can help you find you." Serena poured him a glass of wine. "Drink. It's a California Cabernet, made at a solar vineyard. Taste the clean electrons." "Huh. I didn't tell you I was in the solar business." "No, you didn't, but your truck parked outside did. You think Madame Serena is blind? Now, tell me your problems. The spirits will guide me to your answers. Well, I got a lot of problems. My solar business is on its last legs. My wife just left me for my best friend. And yeah, I'm feeling stuck. With climate change and high electric rates, I think your solar business would be good. I've always wanted solar for my home. Well, good for you, but it's too late. The California Public Utilities Commission, the CPUC, it just screwed you and everyone else in the state who wants to go solar except utilities. You kid, Madame Serena. This is California. Does our state not lead the nation in solar? Not for long. The energy deep state is taking over again, damn it. Slow down, Nick. Tell Madame Serena why this CPUC, as you say, is so bad for solar. The spirits may be able to help. Well, I don't know what spirits can do, but the commission is supposed to be objective, right? They're the Public Utility Commission, right? Yes, right. But they're not. The commissioners keep handing down decisions that are decimating the rooftop solar industry. In 2023, they just passed NEM 3.0. NEM, N-E-M, stands for Net Energy Metering. With the old net metering, you generated extra solar power during the day, and the utility would keep track, and then you'd get an equal energy credit back at night. It was like having a virtual battery. That was NEM 2.0. But now with NEM 3.0, you only get the wholesale rate back. So the utilities are taking your extra solar power and selling it to your neighbors for 10 times the price. That's great for them, but for you, that kills your solar savings and extends your payback time. So people don't want to go solar anymore, which is exactly what the utility wants. And the CPUC is falling for it, saying that solar customers aren't paying for their fair share of grid costs. Well, that's bull. There are lots of studies that show that rooftop solar is a benefit to the grid. It cuts down on transmission costs because people are using energy right where they live. What about installing a battery? Batteries are great for customers and it's also great for the overall grid, but when you have to buy a battery, it raises the overall costs and extends the payback time. You used to get a solar payback in 5 or 6 years with NEM 2.0. Now it's 10 years or longer. And because you have to buy a battery, solar is way more expensive. I see. It is good to understand. And what the spirits are translating to me is that fewer people are going solar, and that is hurting your business. Not just my business. California just lost 17,000 jobs, and my business and my job is next. I thought I might be able to do more community solar, but the CPUC is going to kill that too. Wait, the spirits want you to explain community solar. Community solar is when you build a bigger solar project in the area, and anyone can subscribe to it. You don't have to own a home. You can rent or live in an apartment, and you'll get 10% off your bill or 20% if you qualify for low income. It's a great program. Anyone can go solar, and it doesn't have to be on your roof. Except that the CPUC designed a program that would discourage solar developers from building community solar projects. Bingo! The result is that only utilities are going to build big solar projects, and there's going to be tons of empty California roofs. So no more residential solar or locally built solar projects unless you're rich. This is terrible. Solar energy should shine for everyone. My electric bill has gone up 45% in the last 3 years. And now you tell Madame Serena that it's not worth it to go solar? Yes, that's what I'm telling Madame Serena. Can these commissioners be voted out of office? No, only the governor can replace them. Anyway, thanks for letting me vent. Here's your $50. Nick laid the $50 on the table, but Madame Serena didn't take the bills. I haven't quite finished your reading, Nick. She poured another glass of red wine. Sit. Madame Serena took a long drink, then stared into the red goblet. She shuffled her cards like a poker dealer, then dealt Nick a series of tarot cards that laid out his past, present, and future. Take hope, Nick. The cards say that the governor will fire the CPUC and replace them within 1 week. Bull. I predicted you'd say that, Nick. Would you like to bet? Sure. If I'm right, and the governor replaces the CPUC, you'll install a new solar system on my home. Nick looked at Madame Serena, an incredulous smile on his face. Well, I guess that's a deal if it ends up saving my business. And if the spirits are wrong, what do I get? Serena looked Nick up and down. He had a nice tan. He could lose a few pounds, but he had potential. Well, I will take you out to dinner at your favorite restaurant, which is the Fish House Restaurant, I believe. How did you know that? Oh, you skeptics. You're the worst. But I forgive you, said Madame Serena. Until next week, Nick. The spirits are with you. Take home your cat. Get some rest. Trust me. I don't. Good. I like a challenge. And I look forward to you installing solar on my home. Bye-bye.
Boom, la 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 la. Boom, 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 la 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 la.
Locking the door behind Nick, Serena returned to her table, staring intently at her crystal ball. The crystal ball was the true source of Serena's power. And by true power, really, it was the cell phone hidden underneath the crystal ball, which recorded all the conversations of Serena's clients. She pressed stop on the recorder, ending her session with Nick. Next, she opened up her contacts and pressed a name that simply said, The Gov. Governor? This is Madame Serena. The spirits and I would like to have a talk with you about a grave matter that will affect your political future. No, it can't wait. It must be now. Serena hung up and thought about Nick. As with all of Serena's clients, she'd paid for a credit report and a background check and saw purchases for the fish house. The credit report spirits revealed that Nick was broke, so she only thought she'd get $50 out of him. But after hearing Nick's story and remembering the sting of her last utility bill, plus feeling lonely and a bit drunk, Serena became determined to use her experience as a spiritual advisor, political consultant, life coach, weight loss guru, psychic healer, and tax and investment advisor to win Nick's heart and to save California's rooftop solar industry. 10 minutes later, the governor walked from the Capitol to Serena's, thinking about their relationship. He was a regular client. He didn't know how, but Madame Serena had a powerful vision. She was always right about the legislation he should sign or veto, lobbyists he should court or avoid, and especially horse racing. Whenever the governor doubted Serena's spiritual connections, she would prove herself by telling him to bet big on a horse at Churchill Downs. And every time, that horse won. Serena told the governor that she was connected to an ancient horse spirit. Indeed, Madame Serena was connected, but not to any horse racing spirits. She was connected to her cousin Soren, who was connected to Jimmy the Odds, who was connected to 5 Churchill Down jockeys who could, for a price, always be counted on to make certain horses win or lose or place. As a result, Madame Serena proved herself to be a very valuable advisor. The governor trusted Serena and paid her well for her time. Not only did he consult with Serena on horse races, he often discussed very sensitive political matters. These sensitive matters also had a value to other Serena clients, both Republicans and Democrats. Yes, indeed, Madame Serena was bipartisan and rich with Sacramento political insider information, and for once she was going to use her power for good, and to get a free solar system. Or maybe just to get lucky with Nick. The governor entered from the back door. He brought a bottle of wine from a special wine cave in Sonoma. The wine was just a gesture, but the true gesture was when he tapped his watch on Serena's credit card reader, paying in advance for her consultation services. "What's up, Serena? I don't have a lot of time." "Governor, the spirits have warned me. You are about to lose your presidential primary." "But I'm not running for president. Yet. You and I and the spirits know that one day you will try. And you said the spirits say I'd win." "I did. But the spirit world, it is like putting together IKEA furniture. You think it's easy, you have the plan, and you put it all together, and then you realize you're missing a crucial piece to make sure it doesn't fall apart. So what's my missing piece? The rooftop solar industry. Ha! Very funny. Who's it really? You laugh, but the spirits say otherwise. They are, no pun intended, very powerful. Your CPUC seems to have lost its way. You appointed all of them, yes? Yes. And so you are responsible for 17,000 solar installers losing their jobs. Thanks to net metering 3.0, middle-class Californians like me can't afford to go solar anymore. And then there's the community solar program that the CPUC designed and that is filled with poison pills that basically kills the program. Look, utilities support me, utility unions support me, that's a fact. But I don't control the CPUC. They're an independent body. But you influence them, do you not? So the spirits say that the solar clean energy and climate advocates are going to endorse someone else in a close presidential primary of the future. I'm seeing a number. The number is 2028. Oh, yes. And as a result, you're going to lose the California primary, and someone else is going to get the nomination. Who? Who could win California besides me? I'm seeing the letter K. Who could that be? The governor thought about it. Are you sure? I am sure. But if you want to check, if Wild Willow wins the third race next week at Churchill Downs, the spirits are certain. What am I going to do about it? The utility and the utility unions are all over me. I can't lose their support either. Governor, the sun shines on everyone. There's plenty of solar that needs to be built by utilities and rooftop installers and community solar developers too. We're in a climate crisis. As a climate leader, you must know that every clean kilowatt hour counts. What's needed here is balance, and for you to find the missing coalition piece that's rolled under the couch and about to be eaten by the cat. Balance. Yes. Ask the spirits, how do I get balance? One moment. Serena looked into her crystal ball. The spirits say, fire the CPUC. That sounds like a social media hashtag. Yes, the spirits say it could be. Fire the CPUC. Damn it, it does have a ring to it. That really could be a powerful hashtag. Yes, Governor. Start fresh. Show the clean energy and climate folks that you're serious about clean energy and care about good-paying jobs and lower electric bills for everyone. A balanced and revised community solar decision will show you care about all ratepayers. Otherwise, you're just showing that you care about utility campaign contributions, and that's a terrible look. Geez, how long do I have? Let me check. Madame Serena looked into her crystal ball. The spirits say Tuesday. To Nick's surprise, on the following Tuesday, the entire California Public Utility Commission handed in their resignation to California's governor. On Thursday, Madame Serena and Nick met to go over her electric bill. After new commissioners were appointed, solar installations returned, and once again, California became a model and solar leader for the other 49 states. After completing Serena's solar installation, she and Nick celebrated at the fish house. And then one thing led to another, and they lived happily ever after. Mostly. Okay. That was a silly solar story. And yet, it is a reflection of some truths. First, the California Public Utilities Commission has recently issued several decisions that have devastated the rooftop solar industry. These decisions have not only caused the loss of 17,000 good-paying solar jobs, they've also affected the ability for homeowners, commercial customers, schools, and farmers to save on California's soaring electric bills. These decisions are also slowing down the state's ability to meet California's climate goals. Every clean kilowatt hour should count. As for the governor, let me be clear that in reality, he cannot fire any CPUC commissioners without some kind of cause. However, he can influence their decisions, and because he appointed all of them, it is the governor who is ultimately responsible for gutting California's rooftop solar industry. It's not the CPUC. It's on Gavin Newsom, folks. And personally, I'll remember that in 2028 when there's a primary and I expect he'll be running for president. If you're a solar advocate, if you want to go solar, if you're a solar worker, I hope you will too. That's it for this week. Probably True Solar Stories is a production of Unthink Solar, PR, and Communications. Be bold for solar, stand out, and educate. See you next time.